The night that changed everything. The night my wife, Lena, humiliated me in front of our closest friends was supposed to be a relaxing evening, a chance to unwind, reminisce about old times, and maybe talk about summer plans. Instead, her biting words set off a chain of events that shattered everything I thought I knew about our marriage. But before I dive into how it all unraveled, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. You won't want to miss the twists and turns in this story. It only gets more shocking. I'm Cole, 35 years old, working a steady IT job in a small Midwestern city. On most days, I'm just a regular guy who enjoys football on Sundays, tinkering with my computer, and sharing a quiet life with my wife of 7 years. When Lena and I first met in college, she was full of energy and had the brightest smile. We connected instantly, spending late nights studying together and making diner runs. After graduation, we built a life in a cozy house, adopted 2 cats, and settled into a predictable, comfortable routine. But over the past few months, I began noticing little things that didn't feel right. Lena had become protective of her phone, brushing off questions about late-night calls or messages. Sometimes, she came home smelling like a cologne I didn't recognize, blaming it on a coworker or a crowded bar. I didn't want to jump to conclusions. Marriage is built on trust, right? Then came that Saturday night. We had a small dinner party with 4 friends, and between sips of wine, I shared a light-hearted story about a DIY disaster where I nearly flooded the kitchen fixing a faucet. Instead of laughing, Lena interrupted with a cruel remark. "Maybe you'd succeed at something if you didn't give up so easily, Cole." The room went silent. Everyone awkwardly avoided eye contact. I felt my face flush, forcing a grin to mask how deeply her words had cut. Lena had never belittled me like that before, especially in front of others. It felt like a glimpse into a side of her I hadn't fully seen. After the guests left, I confronted her. She shrugged it off, calling it a joke and accusing me of overreacting. But her tone lacked any humor, and the uneasy feeling in my gut only grew stronger. A few days later, while she was in the shower, her phone buzzed. A message popped up. "Can't wait to see you again." My heart sank. When I scrolled through the chat, I found flirty messages full of inside jokes I'd never heard before. My hands shook as the realization hit me. Lena was cheating. Suddenly, her guarded phone, vague excuses, and the unfamiliar cologne all made sense. Instead of confronting her immediately, I decided to gather undeniable proof. A close friend suggested I keep track of her whereabouts, so I did. One evening, Lena claimed she was having a girls' night out. I drove to the bar she mentioned, but her car wasn't there. Instead, I found it at a trendy spot downtown. Peeking through the window, I saw her with a tall, dark-haired man. They were laughing, leaning close, and his hand rested on her waist. I snapped a few photos, each one confirming what I'd hoped wasn't true. When she got home later that night, full of weak excuses, I didn't say a word. The next morning, I laid the photos on the kitchen table and waited. The moment she saw them, her anger melted into stammered apologies and then, unbelievably, accusations. She blamed me for her actions, saying I wasn't ambitious enough and my laid-back nature had driven her to seek excitement elsewhere. It was a twisted attempt to justify her betrayal, a final blow to my confidence. That was the moment I decided our marriage was over. I packed a suitcase, told her I was leaving, and walked out. Leaving wasn't easy. 7 years of marriage doesn't disappear overnight. But I knew I deserved better than a partner who humiliated me in public and betrayed me in secret. In the months since, I've filed for divorce, moved into a modest apartment, and started rediscovering myself. I'm learning to trust my instincts, set boundaries, and demand the respect I deserve. If there's one takeaway from my experience, it's this: no one deserves to be publicly humiliated or secretly betrayed. Facing the truth takes courage, but your dignity and peace of mind are worth it.